Okay, so we are going to calculate the heat loss of a wall. And this wall that we're going to do is on the next page, but this is the general procedure that you go through when you're calculating heat loss and gain. So first of all is we have to use a formula, and that is Q prime equals U times A delta T. Q is heat loss in BTUs per hour. U is a reciprocal value of the R value. A is the area, and delta T is the difference in temperature on either side of the wall. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can get to this. I want to get to something here and show you. The first thing I want to show you is that this is in our engineering formula sheet. It's right down here, and it tells you all the things that I just said to you in the little video that or the area that I was just telling you about. So let's, whoops, yeah, it's not going back the way I expected to, but there it is. So there's a process that you're going to go through. It's going to be 5 steps. The first thing is you need to calculate the area of the walls, the area of windows, and the area of doors. We're going to do that next. And then we're going to have the area of the walls minus the window sizes and doors. And then we're going to, in step number 2, we're going to find the materials R values that make up the walls. So we're going to add all the R values together, and then we are going to, for the walls materials, and then we're going to add up the R values for the windows and for the doors. And then we're going to do what's called, we're going to find the U factor. And the U factor is the reciprocal of the R value. So it's 1 over the values that you calculated up here in step number 2. And we'll find the U value for the wall material, for the windows, and for the doors. And then delta T is the temperature differential. That's the temperature in the room minus the average temperature in the city/town that you're located in. Then you're going to calculate the heat loss, and that's the heat loss for the walls, for the windows, and for the doors. You're going to add those all up, and that's going to give you a total heat loss. Remember that if you're calculating heat loss for an entire building, you need to find the total Q for all the exterior walls, including floors and ceilings. Then we're going to add all the Q values together. I'm not going to make you do walls and ceilings, but we are going to do all the walls in a particular building. So we're going to open up to our next page right here. And this is about calculating the area of the walls minus the area of doors and windows. So this is step number 1. So the first thing is we need to know the area of the overall wall. Now the overall wall, and this is a simple calculation, the area, so area is equal to length times width. And you want to be putting this into your engineering notebook, or taking these notes and putting this into your engineering notebook so that you have it in case there's a test. Well, no, in case. When you have the test, you can actually follow this format. Now, the overall wall, so I'm just going to write overall wall. That wall is 25 feet long by 8 feet tall. So 25 feet by 8 feet equals, and let's see, sometimes my calculator, I'm going to use my cell phone here, and sometimes it doesn't show up too good here. Shucks. Well, you're just going to have to take my word for it, I guess. So I'm going to clear everything here. And I'm going to take 25 times 8, and that is going to give me 200 feet squared. So 200, and this is going to be feet squared. And you need to keep track of units in these types of things, and that is very important, okay? Now, the next thing is we need to calculate the area of the door, because we are going to subtract the area of the door and also the area of the windows from our wall, overall wall size. So let's calculate the area of a door. So we know already that it's length times width, and here we have inches, and we need to be in feet. So 36, we know that that is 3 feet because that's just the way it is in math, right? But we don't know what 8 inches is in feet. So we're going to take 8 and divide that by 12, and you're going to get 0.66. So this is going to be for the door, and this is going to be what is it? Sorry, it's 6 feet, so it's 6.66 feet tall times 3, and that's going to give me, when I do the math, 19.98 feet squared. Okay. Now we have our window. 36 inches, that's 3 feet. 48, that's 4 feet. Again, same thing over here, 4 feet and 3 feet. So let's say we're going to call this window 1 and window 2. I'll just circle those to make sure everybody sees them. So window 1, that is going to be 3 feet times 4 feet equals 12 feet squared. Window 2, again, 3 feet times 4 feet, that gives us 12 feet squared. When you take these two windows, because they're two windows, we can add these together. You're going to end up with a total of 24 feet squared. Okay, so our next job is to calculate the total area of this wall. So that's the 25 times 8, which is 200 square feet, minus the door, the area of the door, minus the area of the two windows. So I'm going to take my 200 feet squared minus 19.98 feet squared minus the 24 feet squared. I should have written that square up there. Okay. Now when I do that math, I'm going to take 200, I'm going to subtract 19.98 minus another 24, and I'm going to come up with 156.02 feet squared for the area of this wall. So this is the first step in calculating heat loss.